We were 2,000 miles from home. Our flight back just disappeared off the board, and we didn't know a single soul in that city. That's the outstation nightmare. And as a retiree flying standby, you've got no priority, which means you're about to find out exactly how alone you really are. Welcome back to Standby Secrets. I'm Frank Hardy. Today, we're breaking down exactly what to do when this happens to you. Plus, one of the smartest tools you have when things get tight, splitting up your family instead of insisting everyone travels together. This isn't about getting canceled at your home airport, where you know the terminal, you've got your own car in the garage, and worst case, you just go home and try again tomorrow. This is about getting stuck somewhere else, where every option costs money, time, or both. Before you even open the app, there are two problems you have to face honestly. One, you might not be getting out of there for 12, 18, even 24 hours or more. Two, you have no local fallback plan. No couch to crash on, no one to call, no car in a garage somewhere. Here's the mistake almost every retiree makes at this point: panic. And I want to be really clear about something. As a retiree, you should never, ever be in a rush. Before you touch that app, before you pick up that phone, before you run for a hotspot, I want you to hear this. Not when you're stranded, not when the board just cleared, not ever should you be in a rush. Here's why. American Airlines has an entire priority category built for genuine urgency. It's called APAS, Positive Space, also called Must Ride, and it's powerful enough to bump a paying passenger off a flight. It is for real emergencies that occur on a regular basis, like crew positioning, relocation for out-of-base training, and similar corporate needs. For active employees. Retirees can qualify for it too, but only for bereavement, a funeral, or an imminent death in the family. That's what urgent actually means to the airline. If you're not in one of those situations, you have no business feeling rushed. And here's the thing. A-level travel can blow up your day. It happened to Svetlana last year. She was in Europe, somewhere near Rome, heading home to Philadelphia. Her flight was open. She already had her seat. Then the crew scheduled for a different flight to Charlotte had a mechanical. 9 flight attendants and 3 pilots got assigned A1 priority onto her flight to get them where they needed to be. She didn't lose her seat to a paying passenger. There wasn't even time to relist those Charlotte passengers elsewhere. She lost it to a crew. So, if already confirmed isn't even safe, what do you actually do? You follow a decision tree, in this order every time. First, decide your priority before you touch the app. Are you someone who has time no matter what, with no real deadline? Are you someone who can do this if you must, but would rather go sooner? Or are you someone who'd simply like to get moving if it's convenient? Pick your lane first. Second, and only second, check loads. And check them only for the options that match the lane you already picked. If you've decided you're happy to spend an extra day and catch Oktoberfest in Munich, you don't even need to look at the next flight out. You already made the call. Your status matters here too. Are you traveling alone or with a companion? That's not something you decide before or after the priority question. It happens right alongside it, because what you'll accept alone is often completely different from what you and your spouse will agree to together. Married folks, you already know exactly what I mean. Once you know your lane and your status, then you look at your actual needs. Immediate, rerouting, relisting, notifications. Yes, it can get hectic. Short term, food, a place to rest, something to do. Still busy, but more relaxed. Long term, real rest, ground transportation, entertainment, genuinely calm, but it still requires everything from the 2 levels underneath it. Here's the bottom line. The exact same outstation cancellation can turn into a genuinely fun, unplanned day, or it can turn into the worst travel day of your retirement. The difference isn't luck. It's whether you worked the decision tree or skipped straight to panic. If you've ever been stuck at an outstation with a canceled flight, hit that like button and tell us your story in the comments. How long were you stuck and how did you handle it? Now let's talk about one of the sharpest tools you have when seats are tight, and it works whether you're dealing with an outstation bump or just a regular tough load: splitting up your family. Most people's instinct is to insist everyone travels together, next to each other's seats, at the same time. That instinct is exactly what gets families stuck. Here's the escalation ladder, and you only move to the next level when the one before it doesn't work. Tier 1. Split seats. You do not need to sit together. Same flight, same cabin class, just not next to each other. This alone solves most tight load situations. Tier 2. Split cabins. This is where people get it backwards. Your instinct is to keep everyone in the same class, all in economy, or hold out for 4 seats together in business. Don't. If there's exactly 1 seat open in first, 1 person takes it. The rest take the best individual seats available in whatever cabin has room. Everyone's on the same plane. Nobody's matching. Tier 3 has 2 versions. Tier 3A, split flights. Same route, different departure times, same day. 2 of you go now, the other 2 catch the next one. But that's not always an option. Domestically, American rarely drops below 2 flights a day on a route because they can right-size it with a smaller aircraft. Internationally, that flexibility doesn't exist. You're on a wide body, 250 passengers minimum. So a smaller international city, say Vienna, might only get 1 wide-body flight a day, period, while London or Frankfurt might get 10. When there's only 1 flight, 3A isn't on the table. Tier 3B, split routing. Same final destination, different connecting cities. 2 of you fly nonstop Madrid to Miami. The other 2 go Madrid to Philadelphia to Miami, or Charlotte, JFK, O'Hare, Dallas, wherever there's room. Everybody ends up in the same city. You just took different paths to get there. And there's a Tier 3C worth knowing: alternate airports and ground transport. Some cities have a second airport nearby. Heathrow and Gatwick in London, JFK and Newark in New York, Narita and Haneda in Tokyo. And in parts of Europe, a high-speed train can genuinely substitute for a short flight leg: Madrid to Barcelona, Frankfurt to Munich. Tier 4. Split days. Any of the tiers above, just a day or more apart. One honest note on all of this: these tiers don't stack in a neat order of preference. Sometimes waiting gets you a better seat. Sometimes it gets you a worse one. There's no formula. You have to check loads for each option, every time. Before we wrap up, 2 mistakes that turn a manageable outstation bump into a genuinely bad day. First, the hotel discount trap. Retirees often get discounted rates at hotels near the airport, a real perk. But during an irregular ops event, those same discounted rooms are exactly what the airline is buying up, at a contracted rate, to house displaced paying passengers. The discount doesn't just get harder to find, it can disappear entirely at the exact moment you need it most. If you sense a mass cancellation event, start looking for a room immediately. Don't wait until you know your exact status. Second, not aligning with your travel companion before you're stuck. Remember what I said about splitting decisions happening alongside status, not before or after it? If you and your spouse haven't talked through what each of you will actually accept before you're standing at a gate with a canceled flight, you're negotiating it live, under stress, in front of strangers. Have that conversation at home, calmly, long before you ever need it. That amazing retirement perk of flying for almost nothing, it's still one of the best benefits out there. But using it well means thinking differently when things go sideways. An outstation cancellation isn't a crisis if you've already decided your priority, know your status, and know how far you're willing to split up to get where you're going. You're not just a passenger anymore. You're a travel strategist, And the difference between a bad day and a genuinely good one usually comes down to one thing. Did you follow the decision tree, or did you skip straight to panic? Don't forget to subscribe for more travel insights. And I want to hear from you, seasoned non-rev travelers. What's your own outstation survival trick? Share it below.